Okay. Beta. I'm gonna show y'all boys where I'm from, man. I'm from that.
Man, y'all excuse me, forgive me, man. I ain't got a lot of energy. I'm tired. I got off at 3 in the morning. Slept 3, 4 hours, went to work, got out, work, went to the gym. So forgive me if my energy is low this video. Big boss how boss dog can't poke through the door. Hit a talk this boxer. Forget about soliloquy. Remember, tough times don't last. Good people do. Don't knock yourself. Caught him in the hotline, maybe matter. Peak game. 84's over swing. All right. Conor Benn, Chris Eubanks Jr. post-fight reaction. Let's talk about it. The bigger man won easily, in my opinion. Eubanks Jr., man, showed that weight classes matter for a reason. Okay? But let me get a breakdown of the fight on what I saw, and then I'll give you my opinion, or just to break down the fight. Early on, Chris Eubanks allowed Conor Benn to pressure him, right? So Benn was doing a good job pressuring him and fighting at a fast pace. Now, granted, I don't know if that pace was going to be sustainable for a full 12-round fight, but, hey, the first couple of rounds, he came with that pressure. He was landing on Chris Eubanks. Chris Eubanks was pulling straight back with his lead hand down, which he was getting caught with some stuff. Now, Chris Eubanks was throwing that lead left hook at Eubanks while he was retreating out, right? So it was early on. It was looking like Conor Benn was gonna dictate the pace of the fight and dictate everything early on. Now, as the fight went on, you kind of saw Chris Eubanks kind of settle in, like in the middle rounds. Chris Eubanks started landing the jab, lead hand, and then still lead left hook. Landing some combination, going to the body. You know what I mean? He just looked in control. Start countering Conor Benn. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it was just easy to me. It just seemed like he was comfortable in there. It was just easy for him. Excuse me, I told you I'm tired. And then once you start getting I think it was around 8. It was between around 8 and 9. You saw Conor Benn cut it up a little more, and he kind of buckled Chris Eubanks, right? But you saw Chris Eubanks being that crafty veteran, tied Conor Benn up, right? Was able to get his bearings together. Okay, cool. Let me get back on my jab. Let me get back to work. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you saw rounds 11 to 12, Chris Eubanks Jr. cut it up on him. You saw Chris Eubanks Jr. start throwing a lot of punches. You know what I mean? Just really, just little veteran tactics. Not hard punches. Just kind of peppering them up. Just throwing, just going, just touching them. Bop, 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 bop. You know what I mean? And around 12, you saw him land like a big left hook on Conor Benn, and that buckled him. And you saw Conor Benn wrap up, right? So it was a great performance by Chris Eubanks Jr., and it showed that weight classes matter for a reason. And I've been saying this, bro. Now, I honestly think this. If Chris Eubanks Jr. was at welterweight, I think Conor Benn probably would have knocked him out. Not gonna lie to you. I think if Chris Eubanks was a welterweight, he would have Conor Benn would have knocked him out. But due to the fact that Conor Benn is at a middleweight, my bad, I sneezed. Due to the fact that Chris Eubanks isn't a welterweight, Conor Benn was not able to do that, right? I told y'all weight classes matter for a reason. I told y'all from experience, I'm telling y'all this. I've sparred dudes who are much smaller than me, right? And they better than me, way better than me, but they weren't able to do nothing with me. They was landing shots on, okay, and I'm talking about they sitting on punches, pause, okay. But then I hit them 3 times, bop, bop, bop. They knees buckle and they grabbing me. You see what I'm saying? I've sparred guys bigger than me, pause. Like these super heavyweights that's like, I sparred a dude that was 300 pounds. I'm 195 pounds, right? When I was actively boxing, I stayed between 180 and 185 when I was an amateur, because I used to fight at 178. So I spotted a dude that was 300 pounds. I mean, I'm working. I'm throwing a lot of punches. I'm throwing a lot of punches. And next thing you know, he hit me twice. I'm seeing 3 people. One 300-pound dude, one 300-pound dude hit me. I couldn't see. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm still in there fighting though, but I can't see. It's like he hit me, cut my lights off. He hit me, cut my lights back on. I was like, oh snap! Hey, what happened? You see what I'm saying? Like, it happens in the sport of boxing, bro. But when you start fighting these dudes that's bigger than you, bro, it's different. You know, it's a difference. It's levels to this, bro. You can't be in there, you know what I mean? And I thought Conor Benn was gonna be the one looking the box. No, he was applying pressure to Chris Eubanks. You know, he was the one applying pressure to Chris Eubanks. Like Conor Benn was fighting like he the bigger man, and Chris Eubanks was fighting like he the smaller man. You get what I mean? So, like I said before, it was a great performance by Chris Eubanks Jr. Should they rematch? Heavens no. I'm trying to stop cussing. Heavens no. They should not fight again. Right? They shouldn't. Because I'm telling you like this, the same thing might happen again. I could see Chris Eubanks Jr. outboxing him again. You know what I mean? Like I told y'all, it was a masterclass performance, in my opinion. I won't say it was like, if I had to grade it, it'd be a B+. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, Chris Eubanks Jr. was in there with the hand here. He had that lead hand low. He you know what I mean? If he really was getting buzzed, he'll be here. He like this, like okay. Only thing I didn't like was, like I said, he was pulling straight back. He was pulling straight back, and Benn was, you know, catching him with them wide shots. You know what I mean? He'll get caught by like 1 or 2 of them. You know, and then slip the other 2. You know, or whatever. If Benn threw 3, he'll land 2, and Eubanks will slip the other one. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing that I can really critique him on. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like commentators. In any, I don't. Because commentators really they can sway you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't really watch commentators. I mean, I don't listen to commentators when I'm watching anything, like football, anything, basketball, anything, because they'll like kind of sway your judgment. So, you know, when I start hearing them talk, mute. You know what I'm saying? Mute. You know, you want to be able to formulate your own opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll sit there and tell you, like, for example, Terrence Crawford versus Israel Madrimov. I hate that I use that fight, but I got to use that one. They'll sit there and tell you, oh, man, that Terrence Crawford won unanimously. No, he didn't. I know what my eyes see. I'm looking at the fight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, bet. I'm going to start live scoring stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what Bob's going to start doing, live scoring. I'm going to start live scoring fights. And what I'm going to start doing is putting my card and post that move. Because it's just like, bro, what are y'all looking at? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. It's crazy to me. But to get back on topic, I'm sorry. I you know, like I told y'all, I'm tired. So, like, kind of all over the place a little bit. Great job by Chris Eubanks Jr. Chris Eubanks, I don't know where he go from here. I don't know who he should fight. I think that he needs to, I don't know. You know, but he got a big payday. He won the fight. It was a great win. And much respect to Chris Eubanks Jr. Conor Benn, he needs to go back down to 147 and, you know, work his way back up to the top. I mean, he could probably try to fight try to get a Jambu in this fight, because that's cash cow, or fight Brian Norman, or fight Mario Barrios. You know what I'm saying? Like, look to get into that little realm right there, because right now, you know, to me, you kind of running for some smoke. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, we been one kind of Benn to fight Boots and all these other welterweights, and he ain't doing it. So I don't know what he got going on, but he need to get back in the game and his weight class and get it cracking. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Let's go.